Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's the Tube, and welcome back if this is your Series 7 review for Doctor Who, where we're reviewing and ranking every series in the revival run of Doctor Who. George, I waited a whole damn month to talk to you about this series. I had to rewatch a clip because I had to remember my emotional state. It's only proper. We're doing it.
I did the same thing, actually. I watched clips from Series 7 before we did this review, and I was just like...
Series 7 is... I want to jump right into it. So, sorry, no usual rigmarole. We're just going to jump into it. We're going to do this by parts because part 1... It fucking hit.
All right. So we talked about Series 6. Go check out the previous video. This is better.
No, this is better. Much better.
Series 6, so good. Series 6 was awesome. This is better.
Like,
without a doubt in my mind, this is one of the best series of Doctor Who ever.
Series, not seasons.
I said series.
No, but because of classification. Anyway, but
yeah.
When I got to like that episode in Series 7, I was like, "Oh my god, this show is hitting me. This is like hitting,
right.
This is hitting me." And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like honestly, yeah, it was like they use like most of the times when it comes with people leaving the show. And this doesn't have to be for Doctor Who. This can be anything, any show on the network, on any platform, any company that's making shows. When an actor and actress leaves for their own decisions, it does have an impact on the show, and it's up to how does the show respond to it. Can you do it correctly? It's like we can make the best of the situation, or do we fumble because we just don't know what to freaking do? We don't know. And when I know that Karen Gillan, who plays Amy, was the one to say, I don't want to stay for the full series. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to go do other things. Honestly, I was like so scared.
Man, I wonder what those other things were.
Well, oh my god. I wonder what galactic adventure she had. But
yeah.
Anyway. But no, like when I read that was going to be the thing, I was worried going into the series. Like, okay, how do you do it? Because like you already established such a strong but different relationship between the Doctor and Amy, as well as with Rory in the last two series, that how do you cut it short? Because like you take that last series just in general to like wrap it up, and there was like, how do you wrap this all up in six episodes? And honestly, and we're just talking about part 1 right now. We'll get to part 2 later on in this review, but it worked. Like 6 episodes was enough.
Yeah.
To wrap up their story. And you got hints of it before. And here was like, because we end last series with the Doctor kind of wanting to take like a little bit of a sabbatical.
And the funny thing is, by the way, when Karen Gillan was ready to leave, as well as Arthur.
But it was mostly Karen. But they had to write up Arthur too. Poor Arthur.
Matt Smith considered leaving too.
Like we all go together.
Yeah, it was dead ass like what do you even call it? Like they just all decided like, yeah, let's do it together. But then Matt was like, all right, one more series,
a full series,
one more full series
for the fans.
Yeah,
because it would have been honestly.
He was ready to go though. You can tell.
I mean, and we're gonna get to that in the second half because like that now what you're seeing, I want to give my own theory that it went into his performance.
Yeah.
Because like the second half Doctor, it felt a little bit different. Like it's time. We're ready to set the sail, but we'll get to that later. But with this first, and we're gonna omit the first Christmas special because I think the second one is more impactful for the show. So immediately getting into Series 7, the core theme of that was at Thursday, it was like Amy and Rory wanting to be... Like, I was so confused because, like, we began the Christmas special so differently, and then we start the proper first episode, and I have no idea why George is on his phone.
I have notes. I don't
have glasses on.
Oh, my God.
But I start Series 7, I'm like, wait, they're separated? They're getting a divorce?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so confused.
And guess what they showed that in?
The
mini episodes.
Oh, God. The mini-sodes.
Yeah.
I was like so confused. Like, wait.
This is when they were like really into the mini episodes. They were just like, we're gonna pump these out
for more content.
Yeah.
Make some more views.
What's this YouTube thing? We can take advantage of that.
I got so confused. Yeah, I was so generally confused. I
Yeah.
didn't know like you had to watch the canon minisodes to understand why. Because like the Christmas special, they kind of already set
You
up.
don't need to. They still explain in the show. It's just really annoying.
It is because like I was like so confused. Like what happened? Like you were fine at the end of the Christmas special. Now you're like, oh, you're separated.
Yeah.
And it was. I want to say the Christmas special, the first one ended with like the Doctor just showing up, like I'm back, and they're like, oh hey, you're back. Like,
Yeah.
we knew you were alive, but like it took you this amount of time,
Yeah, right.
and I was like,
He
okay.
just waited a while to tell him.
And this is why I liked this series specifically because it does something different with the traveling companions where they're not always with him. Like the time the Doctors spend away from them allowed them to. We have lives. We can do our
Yeah.
own. And that was obviously for me suddenly but blaringly showcased in the first episode. Like yeah, Rory has his own thing as a nurse, and Karen. Not Karen.
Karen.
Amy took off with her what was it, the modeling career? Is she a model now?
Yeah.
She took off on that, and the tradition, like she got so busy with her work, and then it affected the relationship, like blah 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 blah. And then by the end of the episode, like, oh no, we're good together, we're back. I'm like,
Yeah, and then we're back together. So it's just like, so it's almost like you didn't need to separate them. Like what? Why separate them then if you're just gonna put them back together in the first episode?
But what I think they just wanted to create some sort of like emotional
Tension.
yeah, between them, because especially with the theme of the episode, it was like subconsciously also getting things ready for when they were gone. Like they were doing kind of not double service, but like introducing the freaking pronunciations early on. I know her later pronunciation. No, it wasn't. It was. Did they go by her with this episode, Clara or
No, Oswin.
Oswin?
Yeah.
Because like she is the core theme of this episode. Because I know like obviously her face, like oh yeah, she's gonna be the next companion. Like she's taking them over, and the way they were doing like they were setting it up.
It was weird, right?
It was weird because it felt like they're I mean I could imagine like me as like a live fan, like oh she's just a character of the week, or she's not gonna come back.
That's literally what everybody was. Everybody was just like, oh yeah, she's a cool character. Oh, she's dead. All right. Wait, that actress is going to be announced for the next companion. Then they announced she was going to be the next companion.
Once they were
like,
Amy
what?
were
Yeah.
It
was really weird,
but I did
interesting. Mm-hmm. It was the funny thing about this series is this is when I really started to watch week to week. I finally caught up on the series in my own weird way.
See that story last time.
Yeah, and I was in full gear. I think the first episode I watched live was either A Town Called Mercy or Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Oh, we got to talk about that episode. We really do.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish this one up. But so what? Like so that I mean, besides the weird tension, like hey, there's tension between them. So like having the trio back together again on a weekly basis is like it's gonna be a little weird at the start, but then as soon as we roll into it, like it gets fixed pretty easily. Mm-hmm. It's not something, but I did like the twist because I'm like, wait, okay, so when they introduce I forgot how you pronounce the first name this time around. Oswin. And you just showcase her innocent life as a shipwreck crasher. Oh, I've been baking every day since.
I've been baking, yeah.
I was like, as a baker, like, I feel like that's cool. That makes her attractive. But at the second time, like, how do you have the materials to keep going? It was like, that was kind of like subliminal clues. Like, something is amiss here. This is not how it mean. And then when you work your way up to the reveal, when you think the Doctor is like, I'm going to save you. And you get there.
And he's just like, oh, envy him. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a new version of the Dalek.
Yeah.
And I was like...
that's the cool thing about this series. Notice, this is only the second time that the Daleks were used in Stephen Moffat's run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did other things.
They did other things, and they really managed to, like, hold back themselves, not focus too much on the returning villain. They brought back the Daleks, but, like, they didn't really utilize them. So that's what made this episode cool. It was a build-up. It's like, wow, the Daleks are back.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, this is a legit good Dalek episode.
It was.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I like it when they're used, like, very sparingly.
Yeah, because it's easy to we're gonna I would imagine if they were to announce the Daleks are the whole threat for a series, that'd get boring eventually.
It would. You could probably make it work, but it would get pretty boring, all things considered.
You have a new Dalek King or something, or hopefully they'll never do that in the later run, whenever we do come back. But after that episode, then now we start setting up they did the series very weirdly, because I think it was 6 episodes until they left. Then they took a break. Next Christmas special, and then they did the entire final.
Yep. Series 7, Part 1, and Series 7, Part 2.
God damn it, they were copying Harry Potter too bad.
I was
2000.
I was a freshman in high school.
Sophomore high school.
Yeah, I remember. It was the spring of 2013 when Series 7, Part 2 premiered, and it was I can just watch this show week to week. This is amazing. A new adventure every week. Oh my god.
I'm finally here.
I was full tilt into Doctor Who. I was just yes. Give me everything. I love this show.
I remember. But before we get to the reason why I especially love this show is episode 2, the dinosaurs episode.
Yeah.
And I was there's Rory and Amy.
So you really like this? You really liked that episode, didn't you?
I really did, because first of all,
guess who wrote it?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, no. Why did you do every review we do is we gotta make a Chris joke somewhere. We gotta write a Chris joke somewhere. It's not on purpose. I swear to God, Chris Chibnall, if you eventually watch this, I do not hate you as of now. I know you have very different reasons, but for me, I only don't like you because of your face. That's it. Nope. No,
I only don't like you because of your face.
Blame the photographer.
Joseph.
I approve this message.
I approve it.
Okay, so the dinosaurs episode. I mean, in reality,
it was fun.
Okay, you can consider that his best episode so far. But the thing that kicked me is that Amy and Rory, they're back together. They're a suburban couple. They're doing their own thing, and then Rory's father decides to pay a visit, and it's played by none other than Ron's dad from Harry Potter. Harold Weasley. I want to say Harold Weasley. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh man, he really bounced back after Harry Potter. It's okay, Harry Potter's done. I'll go on Doctor Who. And George is using his notes to comb his hair.
Of course.
But that was just a fun episode. It has not, but it definitely sets up just how these episodes are gonna go. You're slowly setting up Amy and Rory. We kind of want to maybe transition. And I just love the ending where he decides, you know what, I'm gonna go try it with the Doctor.
Yeah.
Please tell me there was a comic series where he was the companion.
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just the Doctor and Harry and
Or
Ron
a mini episode. I don't fucking know.
Doctor...
One of those things. This was when Doctor Who was really big. This is probably I think it was the peak. I could be wrong, but I believe
peak
it
popularity.
Was the peak popularity in terms of the social zeitgeist. Because not that long after this,
it went down.
They removed it off of Netflix.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was on Netflix.
Which, I said,
big
is
component.
Really what killed the series.
Yeah, and then now it's on HBO Max, but it's still not as big yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that all the Doctor Who series are on there. It's cool. It allows me and eventually you to go back and rewatch them. But yeah, I feel Netflix is still the biggest subscriber base next to now.
Well, you know what it was? It was on Netflix when it first started. So it became a staple of Netflix.
Then
along
they took
with shows like Supernatural and The Walking Dead, things like that. But yeah, once you removed it, it
the new fans.
That's why a lot of people just didn't watch the Peter Capaldi run, which in a lot of fans' opinions
is the best run.
The best run.
And you said about Matt Smith going into Matt Smith best run. Now we're ending off Matt Smith. Peter Capaldi best run.
Matt Smith is where my heart is, but Peter Capaldi is
where the critical stuff is.
Yeah,
the critical claim.
That's just where. Unbiasedly. You know what I mean? It's just
he hasn't...
Yeah.
Jumping ahead, just the couple clips I saw Peter Capaldi, he hasn't sold me, but then again, the 2 clips are not going to,
Yeah, 2 clips are not going to...
Yeah, I have to watch his runs when we come back later this year, but I was very much... yeah, we'll see how that goes, but just the nuance of, Matt Smith in particular, his Doctor is, trying to be distant in a weird way. He's not trying to be... like he loves Amy and Rory. It's like kind of like I want to say now like they're the trio mentality, like kind of like a brother and sister type thing.
They're a family.
Yeah, they are like a very weird family. And I feel like that is sort of clear by the Cube episode.
Where the Cube episode is
it's
so good.
It's so differently paced, but it's really good.
It is. It's like a traditional Doctor Who episode, but reverse. In terms of like they took the status quo and reversed it. The Doctor goes somewhere and all the companions are like, whoa, this way. It's the other way around, and it's really, really good. Guess who wrote that episode?
Oh no, him again?
Yeah, no, literally. I think Power of Three is Chris Chibnall's best episode.
It's like everyone's like, you could have done that same exact thing week to week, but you didn't.
Yeah,
you just suck.
No, it's definitely like a solid episode, and it was a perfect send off for Amy and Rory. You know, they were just like, by the end, you could have easily just made it Amy and Rory go like, yeah, we had a great final adventure and we're done.
No, yeah, but wait, wasn't there another episode between this and the last episode, or that they were in, or
exactly?
I could be wrong.
That's the weird thing. It's like they have such a great send off, and then the next episode happens, which is their actual final episode, and we know how that goes.
Yeah,
and that's just
that last episode. We're gonna take
weird.
A minute. We're gonna take a minute to talk about that.
Right? It's like,
but Power
to me, yeah.
I feel like I'm a little bit different because like this episode definitely set up that there was life, you know, beyond each other. Like the Doctor, when this Cube thing happened, and there was like, oh, here's a conflict, but we don't know what the fuck these are gonna do. So like, okay, I'll stay in your townhouse. I'll live here. I'll like, you know, we'll be this time a happy family on not the TARDIS, and he can't survive a full day. He couldn't even survive an afternoon.
He couldn't.
Mundane life is not in the Doctor's. Is not in his lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps leaving and like coming back once in a while. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Any updates on the queue? It's like, okay, great. I'll see you maybe in a couple months. Your time. For him, it probably is like maybe a couple of hours. Who knows?
It was a couple hundred years.
For him.
Yeah, no. What I was gonna say about Matt Smith's Doctor, you can tell. You wonder why he's different. He's older. He's older, and that's really what it is. Age is a big theme in Series 7 altogether.
But they make a big deal about that in the second half for me. Like that for me, I start to notice that like second half, like this is getting an older vibe. But even I don't know what you can quote me when this scene was. It was, I think it was, I don't know if it was the end of this episode or the beginning of the next episode where, Amy Rory did collectively decide after this adventure. It's like, yeah, we want to wind down. We kind of want to regress into suburbia life, you know?
Yeah, that was this episode, Power 3.
Yeah, and then like when he was like, you know what? We'll do one more adventure with you. Or like maybe a couple more. And he was like, great, let's go on the TARDIS. Let's go right now. We'll be back before the party's over. And then Nod Ron's dad shows up and he says like, you'll bring them back, right?
Yeah.
And it's like foreshadowing that like, you know, I don't know, like when people say one more time, it's like, I don't know, like the way you say this, sometimes it just doesn't end well.
Exactly. It's just like, it's tragic. It's yeah.
Because like it was meant to be like, let's go on a high note. Let's have one more big adventure, and then you start up the next episode. It's like they keep dragging it out. It's like, no, this is the last one. And we're like, no, we have a couple more. Like it was so close, and then what was more like, you know, impactful for us is that this final episode of theirs was we head to our home city of New York City, and I was like, that's great.
Yeah. By the way, my favorite scene in the Power of 3, the countdown. Remember? Where it's like, what does the number 5 mean? Like, why is it just randomly saying the number 5, and then it goes to 4, and everybody was like, oh fuck,
something's happening.
I love that. Just that I don't know if that's a trope in media, but that's just awesome.
They filmed in New York.
Yeah, they filmed in New York, and the cast got fucking mobbed when they were filming this episode.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they did not shut down the streets for this episode, or at least I don't think they did.
I don't.
And yeah, it was people were freaking out. They did Arthur David he did a vlog where he tried New York style pizza for the first time, and he was like, "It's okay."
So,
So,
oh god,
yeah,
he probably angered a lot of New York fans.
yeah.
But yeah, but I forgot that was around the time like you were beginning to get into it. So by the time
They were filming it, so that's around the time when I started watching Series 6. So,
you weren't fully into it yet.
yeah.
But it was just like a few months before, and if someone like, let's say me, told you, like, "Yo, they're filming in New York City. Let's go to Central Park and like try to see them."
Mm-hmm.
I honestly,
So many people try to do that. It was crazy.
I'm not surprised. Like,
Yeah.
but like, where are the New York fans now? Where are they?
Exactly.
Where are they?
Where are you now, Doctor Who fans?
We'll talk about your story about that next time. With the whole theatrical experience thing. Next time around. Don't say anything right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I honestly thought, oh my god, that's a really great green screen. That's really good. It's like, oh my god, we're actually in because we were in New York back in series, the Andrew Garfield episode in series 3, I want to say, and I was like, yeah, that was all green screen. They were definitely.
But now they got the budget to go to New York.
Yeah, I was like, that was so cool, and like they actually. I'm pretty sure like they filmed half and half, right? They filmed some in New York and then some back in London.
I'm pretty sure like they filmed only like 2 scenes in New York.
Yeah, especially. Oh, I want to talk about the ending, but let's get to that. This was River's return as well, but this wasn't really like, oh, River's back. Like she was just there to kind of like sell like how eventually this is gonna be, because this started like bringing out the angels again. This is their 3rd appearance in the revival run.
Yeah, they're getting a little stale, but. That's okay.
Yeah, because I'm still confused, like, especially, like, I kind of understand how you set up the whole, like, big, the fall, but I was, like, so confused, like, because, like, the angel comes
I want to move the lightings, but fuck it. I was just like, wait a sec, we moved the table for nothing.
I moved the table for nothing.
All right, fine.
I did. I lifted it.
You didn't move the light then. That's on you, too.
It's not going to go any further. It's not going to go any further. Okay, there.
No, put it back where it was.
Fine.
Put it back where it was. Oh, no.
There.
Oh, no.
There. Okay, going on. Like, you have to give me some reminders on this episode, but I remember, like, the big twist, like, because, like, I think this was, like, because, like, obviously I knew going into it, like, this was their final episode. It's like, how are they going to wrap this up? Mm-hmm. For you, like, you were not, like, you were internet savvy. Like, I'm pretty sure you weren't spoiled, like, this was going to be their final hurrah.
I had no idea. I was just like, what?
But,
okay.
But, like, when you were, did you start to notice, like, when you were watching it back then, like, you know,
they were, like, advertising it as, like, their final episode.
Oh, okay.
So it was just, and they really made it look like they were gonna die. So I was just like, okay, alright, this is gonna be sad. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just,
leaving
trying to trick us.
Maybe leaving the door open.
Yeah.
But they're gonna hurt us hard. They're gonna they hurt.
No, this episode was good. The gimmicks were fun. But yeah, man, that ending, it was tragic.
I was so confused on how they did, like, because when you open the door and you see Old Man Rory there, and he's like used as like a food plant or like something for the angels. And it's kind of like one of those time loops.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I try wrapping my brain around, but I guess it's like one of those like. I'm gonna use like Loki logic. I know like there's not like I know there's a Doctor Who reference. I forgot I don't have my glasses on. A fixed point. Like there's nothing you could do anymore because like you're gonna destroy the timeline if you try to do something. And so when they were like, it was slowly realizing that like, yeah, this is something they're not gonna be able to fix. And then you see the Statue of Liberty become an angel, and I'm like, I was like, oh fuck, okay, I don't know how they're gonna solve this one. And then Amy decides to give them a taste of their medicine. Like, we're going to put them in a time loop. I'm like, how are you going to call it that? And they're going to jump. Because, like, that's their only solution left. And it's like, there's, like, a 0.00001 chance they could survive this.
Yeah.
And the doctor shows up. And it's not that moment yet. But the doctor's, like, knowing, like, what are you doing? Don't do this. I made a promise. You got to go back. And they kiss and they jump and it's like, but that's not the moment that hits. It's not. We eventually cut back to like the graveyard where they all meet up for the first time because also River Song apparently became an author.
Yeah.
Apparently she's a geologist, historiologist, now an author. I'm like, damn, this woman's a catch.
Yeah.
This woman's a catch. The doctor's a lucky man. We cut back to, and I honestly thought like, oh, we're all safe. We're all good.
Yeah, and then they just kill him. It's just like, what?
The last angel Revan's like, no, fuck you. He takes Rory, and she's like, oh my god, because she looks at the tombstone, and And then the other angel appears behind her, and the doctor's like, "Wait, I can stop this. Like, there's a way. Just give me a moment." And she's like, "There's room on this tombstone for one more name."
Yeah.
And for once, like, because this is for me character development, because like at the beginning of her run, of Amy's run in series 5, she, no offense, kind of wanted to get away from Rory, kind of wanted to see what else was out there, and then so like remember she ran away from her own wedding for like a while. Now we come to the point where it's like, I want to be with Rory. Like, that's the adventure I want to go on. Like, if there's just a chance I could still be with him for a little while longer, I'm going to take it. Regardless of the fact the doctor said, I can't save you. You go there. I can never see you again. And that hurt.
That's what hit you?
That hurt, because, like, you know, there's, I can feel that, like, in his face, in his emotion, like, I'm never going to see you again. Like, this is it. Like, know what you're doing. I can at least save you. And she turns around and she's like, goodbye. Raggedy Man, the one of the first things she said to him. And, like, it's not a full-blown, like, crying scene, but, like, it's the doctor's way of, like, I think this is the first time I actually seen him, like, express legitimate emotion, in my opinion.
I think so, yeah.
Because, like, when he cried at Rose...
Last time I could think of is the previous Doctor in the Series 3 finale.
That was subtle. It was like, it wasn't like you can feel it, the energy, but I didn't see his facial. I think the closest use I saw was Series 2, David Tennant saying goodbye to Rose for the first time. Like, you see the tear come down his eye, like, yeah, he wanted to say I love you, he couldn't, and then he lost his opportunity. This was like, you know, him, like, losing, like, he lost his people, and now he lost his family.
Yeah.
And, you know, River's there, but, like, she can't give him the comfort, because, like, you know, there's just something that Amy and Rory gave him that, you know, couldn't be replicated at the time. And I felt it in his heart that, like, yeah, he's an emotional wreck, and he tried to hide it. Like, that kind of kickstarts his journey in the second half, where he's now repressing again. Like, he immediately just asked her, hey, why don't you travel with me? And she's like, not now.
No, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Next time.
A lot of people thought this was River's last episode too. People were just like, "Oh no, is the that episode after this? What is the timeline?"
But she's like, "No, it's not the time yet."
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, but she said, tells them, like, I would, but, like, no. But you need to travel with someone. You need someone to, like, keep you, like, grounded. Someone to keep you stable. But then he has an epiphany. He remembers the book that she was reading.
Yeah, so it's proof that, like, she did live a full life, which is, you know, another Stephen Moffat ass pull, you know, trademark. One of his, that is, what, number 2, 3? I want to say 3?
I want to say 2.
Yeah. It is, yeah. I felt the same way you did when I first saw this episode. However, looking back on it, I just like the power of 3 more. Is that weird? Am I the only one who feels that way? I just like that as a nice send off for the characters.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
It is a very emotional episode, so it does its job there. Well, very well.
It ends off their story well, and it also kickstarts what the Doctor has to, you know, get his shit together again.
Yeah.
But then the moment, like, I felt like it was like that emotional, like, you know, restoration, not like a full, like, healing, but more like like the start is when she reads he reads her letter, like her send off, because she kind of low-key knew, like, yeah, this was it for me. I'm gonna go, but, like, here's my final VO message to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, and the way she ends it, like, it perfectly encompasses, like, the last 3 years they had together.
Yeah.
And she was like, and this was kind of like another one, maybe it's an asshole, maybe it's like kind of like, oh, okay, this was like, I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe you can explain it for me here now. When she's like, to go tell that little girl everything. Like, he goes back to the little girl back in Series 5.
Yeah, that's what's really confusing. Like,
so that Amy knew the whole time, but, like, maybe she just didn't remember. Oh, I remember.
Did he change the timeline so that, like, he could tell her and she would know and look forward to him meeting him? I don't know.
Because remember the second episode in Series 5 where she forgot something, like, she knew something but she forgot it. Like, do you think those were the memories, like, the Doctor told her, and then
maybe
like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like, But regardless of the case, this was by far this was the best way you can send them off.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it wraps up
I'm
their.
surprised you feel that way. That's interesting.
It wraps up their character. It, like, remember, like with Doctor Who, like you said it before with the older series, like not every companion has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like Rose has a happy ending, sort of. Martha, Donna, like that's up for debate. I mean, I'm just convinced, like, you're not. If you can travel with the Doctor, there's a good chance you might not have a happy ending.
True.
But before we move on to part 2 and move on to the next emotional part of this series, let's rank the companions. Okay, so right now we have number 1, Rose, number 2, Martha, no, number 2, Donna, and number 3, Martha. Where do we put Amy/Rory? It's not even a question.
It's not even a question.
Like, I like Rose.
They stayed on for more than one series. Like, not that many companions get that treatment.
Hey, Rose got 2.
2.
Okay, technically Amy and Rory got 2.5, but like, okay.
They did get 2.5.
Yeah, but no, I feel like for me, I felt more emotionally involved with these 3
You get more development when you get more time with the Doctor.
Exactly.
So that, in my opinion, that's why they're so good, because we know more about them, because we get to see them more.
I still don't like that Amy paints her nails, but whatever. She's done. Her story, her segment in our review series is over. We're moving on to our brand new companion, Claire Oswald, in the second half, where you told me, like, they do a Christmas special, then 6 or 7 episodes, another Christmas special, and then the remaining 6 episodes.
Yeah, Doctor Who's schedule is weird.
Especially back then.
Yeah, especially now. You kidding me? It's like, all right, we'll do like 6 episodes, and that won't be a series, but it'll be an event, and then we'll do some event episodes. They're standalone. It's like, what is even going on, man?
They're just trying to, like, make some more content, make some more money.
They're trying. They really are trying.
We'll see. We'll see how that's
doing their best.
We'll see how those next specials do. Why are you playing around with my curtains?
Because I keep hitting it on accident.
It's okay, George. It's okay. But so I said before we were going to talk about the first Christmas special, because the second Christmas special begins this sort of like newfound journey for the Doctor.
Yeah.
We go back. Is it Victorian London or like
Victorian era
Victorian London.
And we get the return of the 3 best companion characters, the ones that we sadly forgot to mention in the last review. I do deeply apologize that we forgot to mention them, but now they're back and they're much more important than they ever were.
Yeah, honestly, like especially the Christmas special, like they definitely had like some big, like they were kind of like.
I love them.
No, yeah, do they have an official like team name, like the Doctor Supporters?
I don't remember, but
I want to call them the Doctor.
They were supposed to get a spinoff. That's what Stephen Moffat was planning, but
I would have
that
loved
did
for them
not
to get
come
a
to
spinoff
fruition because they were just bleeding the budget dry.
with every crazy thing, the special did not help them at
all.
Yeah. But no, I liked them, and yeah, you can definitely feel like they were setting up certain like lines, and like again, my obliviousness / I review so many other content that I easily forget shit.
I just figured watching this episode that they were like previously established companions and that they were in a bunch of episodes. But no, this is only their second appearance.
Yeah, they were in last series 6 of
Good Man Goes to War, like the mid.
Yeah, they were like the Doctor's allies. I guess you could just call them the allies of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because it's been some time since the series 7 mid-series finale. It's been some time, so the Doctor's kind of like not been a recluse, but he's kind of like been like isolated. Like he doesn't want to talk to anyone. He doesn't want to get another trial command. He just wants to be alone. Mm-hmm. Which, like River said, it's not the smartest thing, because someone like the Doctor, he needs someone to kind of like. That's the reason why he kind of needs a companion subconsciously. He needs someone to keep him anchored to reality. Mm-hmm. He needs someone, and he's beginning to struggle a little bit. He's starting to kind of not be the Doctor that we know.
What did you think of I just gotta ask, what do you think of the new TARDIS?
Oh my god, yeah, that reveal, and I was like, that's
such a good reveal, right?
That's such a big upgrade. It was so cool. Like,
right?
So like we got like
that's such a cool moment.
But you gotta imagine,
I watched that episode live. No, not live. I watched it about an hour later because I got home from a Christmas party. Because remember, they aired it on Christmas.
Eve or day?
No, day.
Oh,
yeah, and yeah, man, that reveal is so good.
Yeah, I mean, it was time for like a new, like you can imagine, like he's had some time to like be with himself. So it's like, why not finally give the TARDIS a new makeover?
All right, time to rank the TARDIS makeovers.
No,
this is at number 1.
No, duh.
Number 2,
Series 5's redo.
Yeah.
And then number 3, the start.
Yeah. It really just gets better and better.
It looks more high tech. It looks more.
It looks more sci-fi.
Exactly.
Like like Stephen Moffat. He said like he liked the Series 5 TARDIS, but it was a little too like fantasy, and for this one he wanted to go more science fiction, and yeah, it shows. This is the best looking TARDIS out of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
out of all of them, this one looks the best.
It does. I really liked it. I really liked that review because I'm like, oh, well, how did the Doctor let the TARDIS go to waste since he didn't have anyone on board? And it's like it's so clean.
He cleans it up. He had the time to give it a new makeover.
He's not worrying about other companions' problems. He's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna fix my TARDIS. It's been a couple millennia.
Yeah.
It's time to fix it up. So fix this old girl up.
It's been a couple hundred years. Let me clean up this bad boy.
Yeah, but this episode kind of like when you started when you began this episode and.
It was confusing.
I mean,
it was confusing to say the least, but it was cool.
It was a little bit.
I
But like the whole purpose, like, let's get the Doctor back. Like, let's bring out like the.
Some would say that it's useless, actually, but you know,
I found it to be purposeful. Like, you know,
it had a purpose.
Yeah, it was meant to like kickstart his I want to say soul again because like he hasn't been himself really. And then once Clara, like the other Clara shows up, and then this new mysteries abound, and he realizes like. That feeling he hasn't had before since Amy and Rory. It's like, you know what? Okay, fine. This is a one-time thing. Let's fix this problem for y'all. I forgot who was the monster of the special. Like, was it the ghost?
It was the Great Intelligence. It was the Snowmen.
Oh, I remember
that. We got that actor who was in a bunch of things, but
I should know his name. I know his name. He played Tarkin. Oh no, he didn't play Tarkin. Did he play Tarkin? Was he a stand-in? Oh, Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant, baby.
I.e. Variant Loki.
Oh yeah, he was in Loki. That's
played,
right.
He played a Loki.
I totally
forgot.
He
played comic Loki, classic Loki.
Yeah, he was also in
he was in something else.
Everybody's favorite Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was in Solo.
He was the guy who knew who used to know the Emperor. He was that old dude who was like, yes, I served you once and I will serve you again.
I really hope they did not waste his abilities on that role. But
they really did.
Oh, God. I should rewatch that movie, but I don't want to.
Don't.
I won't. But yeah, but no, yeah, he was such a cool actor in both those stuff. And like seeing him, he was
He's
like,
a good actor.
Oh, yeah, he was really cool, like to be a villain and that sort of setup. Even when the end, like when Clara, does she die or?
Yeah, she dies.
Yeah, she does, and then kind of gives the Doctor a little bit of a clue, like where he should go next to find, I guess, the modern day Clara and see like why.
Yeah, well, it starts off the mystery. It's like, all right, what's going on?
That's the second time you've met, like I guess, a relative.
Yes, this person is far too similar to a person I've had another adventure with. They're not related, but they're practically the same person.
Yeah.
So let me figure out what's going on.
Because it's the same thing like River. Like once you start like noticing the.
Oh, I didn't show you the other mini episode.
Oh God.
Oh, there's a mini episode in
God.
between. This is definitely what kickstarts that mystery, and it's an interesting one. I was very confused. But that's because Doctor Who is a very confusing show. So I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. Let's figure it out. But then, man, let me tell you, the status quo after this episode, starting with the Bells of St. John, it's so cool. The Doctor has a new companion.
And she's so
and they
cool.
go on new adventures. I was watching the series week to week. It was awesome.
Also, got to give a shout out for me personally, like Jenna Coleman, who plays
Yeah.
our new companion, Clara.
Yeah.
By far the most beautiful. No offense to the other ones, like they're all good looking in their own, but she was by far the best.
What we're trying to say is that we have a type.
She is the only Caucasian I will ever meet. Anyway, moving on to the actual part 2 of Series 7.
There was a great, what I was trying to say earlier, there was a great mini episode in between this one, the Christmas special, and this one. I have to show it to you. It is really cool.
Oh boy, I'm not really.
I'll show you 2 mini episodes after this one because I'll bring that up later.
Madre Dios. No, but like the way they her debut episode, which
I love it. The Bells of St. John. That's a great episode.
It was.
This is also when they started giving every episode its own poster. By the way,
No, they did beforehand with the first part.
Not
every
with
episode.
Series 7 in general is when they started giving every
most
episode.
of those part. Yeah, but every part 2 episode had a poster.
Yeah. The Series 8 posters. Oh my god,
They
were
were
so cool.
they were so.
They're so good.
I love them. It sucks they didn't keep them going longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like the CW tried to do that with their shows. Like, here's a new poster every few weeks to keep the hype going, and then they just stopped.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we're not gonna waste our money on artists. Let's just like let the promos cut for itself. I'm like, boo. Anyway, going forward, like, no, already off the bat, like when they eventually started getting introduced to each other and like their dynamic right off the bat, I loved it. It was different. Like, it's sweet. But
right?
It's not a romantic way. It's definitely not. Like, I think she finds him charming.
It is it is, but it isn't. They're not romantic. They're flirtatious, to say the least.
I guess I think I know they made a joke of that like a little bit later on, like in the series. Like they made a little bit of a joke, like there was like a play, but like no, for me, I think it's just sweet. It's just a sweet.
Yeah.
It's just a sweet relationship. Like they're friends, but it's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I don't notice romance. Like it was like with the rose thing, like that was a little obvious for me.
I'll say this much. You can tell Clara is interested in the Doctor, not like sexually, but like
Intelligently.
Yeah, she starts to like get genuine feelings for him
Mm-hmm.
over the course of this series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, okay, so we'll see that in the specials then.
Yeah.
Coming up in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, but like the cool thing is like normally like for us like this was kind of like something different. Like okay, we've had a couple companions in this revival run now, and
again another starting off point. Some people started watching.
Yeah, this felt like a new beginning.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, in the middle of the series, like
in the middle of Series 7,
it's like Pokemon.
A new beginning.
It's like Black and White. Like we halfway through like the 140 episode is like new beginning. Let's go, new start. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It literally ends with like next time a new beginning. It's like, bro, we're still in Unova. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Actually, gonna start another new journey in Unova, and it's only because okay, we gotta appeal back to classic fans. We fucked up already. I'm like, fine, you go do you. But no, like the way Clara said, like the Doctor's like, do you want to come along with me? You know, have some adventure. She's like, sure, but I got a 9 to 5, so. You gotta work around my schedule.
Yeah, you gotta work around my schedule. And he's like, I have a time machine. I can easily do that.
I mean, yeah, it's like the way it's like, there's always the finicky thing about time travel. It's like, okay, I'll see you in 9 hours. He's just like, I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
But that was cool. And like, there was an episode, like the next episode where like...
The next string of episodes all together are just wonderful. But they do kind of blend into each other.
They're all fun. They were like...
they're all equally as good. There's nothing that like really stands out.
No.
Out of all of them, I really like the Haunted House episode.
Yeah, with the kids.
That one was cool.
With the kids, yeah.
Even
the kids joked around with her, like, "Oh, is that your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Is that your gentleman suitor?" She's like, "No."
Yeah. And Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. That's a great episode too.
Oh yeah, that episode that was so like.
We also get the Return of the Ice Warriors, an old classic Doctor Who villain. That was the submarine episode.
Oh yeah, the one they were in. Weren't they in Germany or no?
They were in Russia.
Russia. Okay.
Yeah, it was cool.
No, those episodes were cool. Like definitely, this was mainly like, and that's the unfortunate thing a little bit. And I think Matt Smith did talk about in interviews like. Since her introduction was like halfway through the series and after you just had an impactful ending with Amy and Rory, you didn't get that much time to fully establish Clara and Doctor Number 11. You did not get that much time. Mm-hmm. Which like these were episodes like sort of like they were fun. You were beginning to establish Clara. I feel like these episodes like were meant to establish why Clara is and is going to be an important part in the Doctor's world. Movie because I am aware she's going to be part of Peter Capaldi's run for a while. So
yeah, she's the first companion besides Rose to like see a Doctor transition from one regeneration to the next. Mm-hmm. That's what I find interesting about Clara is that like, yeah, she was on for like a while.
Yeah, but like in this series specific, this was like mainly pushing her into the world of Doctor Who and like giving her like even her.
Also the Rings of Akaton, the one with the speech. With the sun monster. It was Clara's second episode.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that next. Like
that episode, fucking that, I mean, like the whole episode is like fine, but that speech alone is like a masterpiece.
Well,
I think that's
I
like
think
one of the Doctor's best speeches.
mm,
They've had like a lot of like other actors who've played the Doctor.
yeah, we talked about this last
go
time.
about that speech too.
Yeah, we talked about it last time. Yeah.
So many like diehard Doctor Who fans like made like fan compilations with that speech. It left its mark on the community.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I know, like this is just another one of those like we are similar, but we have our own different tastes.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that stood up with me on the second episode is, and again, it fits into the theme of like this last arc in Matt Smith's run is mainly bringing Clara into the world and getting her set up for like when Peter takes over the role in a couple of years from now, well, end of the year for us, but just seeing her like her first reaction, like this is a new planet in a faraway solar system, like just seeing her reaction, the Doctor like it's not like a force like here you go. It's like a gentlemanly approach. Like, here's the world. Here's, like, the aliens. Here's, like, the culture. Like, it's definitely different. And this is exactly what you were talking about, like, in the
There's a lot of setup.
But you felt like the Doctor was a bit different. Like, he was a little older. Like, yeah, it's still the same Doctor we know in life. Like, the carefree, whimsical one. He has his moment, but, like, he's a little bit more mature. Like...
Well, that's what really goes into, like I said, the Doctor's character arc. Because you know what else this was setting up?
Mm-hmm.
The 50th anniversary special.
Yeah.
This whole series it had a lot on its plate. It had to say goodbye to Amy and Rory. It had to establish Clara, and it had to set up the 50th anniversary special.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, with the Doctor being very different, he's growing. This is part of his arc starting from the first series to now.
He's getting to this moment.
We're finally building up to like where this is going, but it's mixed into all this other stuff.
So there's a lot on their plate.
There's a lot on their plate, but I think they do a good job with it.
I think it works. I mean, you see how Marvel does, Civil War and Infinity War, Endgame, and No Way Home. Like, there's so much to do, but at the end of the day, you make a good product.
Yeah.
You make it work. Which is like when you're leading up to the release, like, oh, there's absolutely no way. There's too much to do. Like, you can't balance all this, right? But they do it. It works. Some in very subconscious ways and some in like very important ways. Like,
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we get to the last episode where we talk? I have a lot of questions for you about.
Just
anything before the last episode.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was cool.
That's where I got my blueprint from. When I built the TARDIS in Minecraft, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that our old server? Those
I never got
days.
on that server.
Oh, okay.
You never invited me.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I have PC.
Yeah, let's get into that last episode.
Yeah, I found it to be cool. Like that was like definitely the episode they explained like why Clara is important to the Doctor.
It was interesting.
Especially like that, like...
It was cool, though. I liked it. I liked where they did with it. It was like, again, another one of, Steve Moffat's, like, trademark ass pulls.
Yeah, like, let's put Clara... Like, she was always there from the beginning. Like, she met every Doctor.
And it's really funny because she was. There's an episode with the second Doctor where the Doctor fought a being called the Great Intelligence.
Oh.
So it was like, damn, they tried really hard to make this work.
Yeah, but it worked. Like sometimes.
Oh yeah, another note that I had, the bow tie that Matt Smith is wearing in the second half of Series 7,
mm-hmm.
It looks just like the bow tie that the second Doctor wore. So people are like, people theorize like, is that the second Doctor's bow tie? Because Matt Smith, he wears a bow tie, or at least the actor decided to wear a bow tie as his Doctor outfit because he was inspired by the second Doctor, who wore a bow tie as well. Mm. He really liked the second Doctor's attitude, and that's what his Doctor's mostly based off of.
I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the same person, so like you can like explain like, oh, he just grabbed a couple personality traits from him, but did his own thing.
Yeah, and the Doctor's second outfit is really cool, and. Yeah, I know this because they were showing really old episodes of Doctor Who on cable setting up for the 50th anniversary.
That's like a lead up.
It was really
cool,
really awesome.
I can imagine, yeah. But getting into this last episode and like seeing Clara, they're trying their best. Like we're fitting in Clara with every doctor in existence, and I forgot the conflict was with the high evolutionary. Not the high
evolutionary.
The great. I'm thinking Marvel because like MCU, Guardians 3, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Great intelligence, and they finally go to the planet, right? The planet they set up from Series 6, right? The planet where the doctor's supposed to say the word, say the whatever the thing is.
No. You are.
Am I mistaken?
You are skipping over something very important.
What did I skip?
Is Matt Smith's acting. Oh my god. He looked like, could you imagine, like, when I watched this episode, I was like, wow, Matt Smith is a really good actor. Because, like, man, when he heard that, like, his friends were trapped on the planet where he knows he's gonna die in the future.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember.
That is a fucking sad-ass moment. I was like, wow, this dude can act. That's just a nice moment for me.
Mm-hmm. That he has to, like, okay, you have no choice. You have to now confront your fate.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You're either an asshole or you confront your fate.
Like, you're gonna go to the place where you know you're gonna die. So you're either gonna die there now or in the future.
Yeah. So like, there's a chance.
Yeah.
He could die. And that's
so he's really like confronted with his own mortality. Just frightening, to say the least. It's a good episode, just based off of that theme alone.
Oh no, yeah, of course. River was there, right?
Yes. Now remember, this is the River after her first appearance.
So she's already dead.
So she's already dead, and she's in heaven.
But she's trying to help the doctor one more time.
Yeah, her memory is like uploaded into the cloud, basically.
So like, but she knows everything. Like, you know, she's like, she needs to help.
Yeah. So she's trying to help Clara any way that she can.
Yeah, and the whole scheme of the plan, the whole big plan, which I guess is a loose plan. I don't know how you want to explain.
It's a really loose plan.
Whereas like the great intelligence, like, I'm gonna get inside of you so that I can go to every point in history where you were about to beat me, and I'm gonna make sure that I am the winner.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, or here's a better plan. You come up with a better plan, and then you beat the doctor. How about that?
Yeah, right? Like, this,
you don't have to miss.
This man did not have a plan. He didn't have a plan, and it's just like...
Don't get me wrong, Richie Grant, amazing actor.
He's a great actor, but this episode is like, it's so confusing.
Like, you see him one time in the Christmas... I'm pretty sure he showed up one more time in between here, and then he just...
Yeah, in the Bells of St. John.
Yeah, and then now it's like, here's my grand plan. I'm going to go into your timeline and make sure I win every time we won. It's like, well... How about you just go back to the first time you fought him, and then you win, so that...
Why not, like, Terminator him? And just kill his mother.
I mean, we never even established he had a mother. I mean, I know he does, but still.
You know, it's like, excuse the background noise, I hope you guys don't mind. It's just like, again, when you watch this series for the first time, it's like, damn, this is really emotional. But then you look back at it and it's like, this does not make any sense.
It does not. But
which is fine. Look, I get it. Doctor Who's that kind of show. You really do have to, like...
Take some jumps.
Yeah, you have to take some jumps. And personally, I'm okay with that. But I understand why a lot of people are not okay with that. That's how I look That's how I look at a lot of, like, Star Wars movies. That's why I don't like a lot of Star Wars movies.
Mainly the sequels.
Yeah. But for Doctor Who, that's more of a show that I'm willing to look past the...
because there's a lot of greats than there are downs.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can give them, like, okay, here's a cracker. We'll give you
exactly. And this episode has possibly one of the best moments. And this is really the moment that cemented River Song for me as a better love interest for the Doctor than Rose did. Because, like, damn, bro. That moment where she and him, like, talk for the last time.
Because, yeah, this was the last time Matt Smith was going to... Interpreted was going to meet her, right?
Yeah.
So, like, moving forward, like, if she does come back, it'll be Peter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, this is the furthest in her timeline. It is...
Now, furthest.
Yeah. This is definitely...
The furthest.
The furthest in her timeline. And it is sad. Like, just that moment of her, you know, that whole moment. I've watched that moment so many times on YouTube just because it's so sweet, you know? Yeah, that line, again, like... The line where she's just like, "How can you see me? I'm not technically here." And he's just like, "You're always here to me." I'm like, "God damn it, my heart is melting." That doesn't make any goddamn sense, but that's so sad.
It's the doctor. It's the doctor. For him, it makes sense.
That's where that's where I finally came up with that joke that I've said so many times throughout this review. Like, yes, the universe is falling apart, but what about my feelings? It's like. This is definitely that kind of moment. That's where I came up with that joke for the first time. Man, like I said, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, but that emotional kick, it is there, and these two actors,
and it makes you like forget like the leaps and bounds. You have to get to
again. These actors are really pushing their limits. It's so good
because they have to. This kind of sets up a very loose trilogy. We have Time of the Doctor. Day of the
Doctor and Time of the Doctor.
Name of the Doctor. That was the last episode.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Name of the Doctor, Day of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor.
Yeah,
so this is a very loose trilogy of like wrapping up Matt Smith's run.
And I don't know if this was intentional, but this is a little something I noticed when I was doing my research in the series 6 finale when the Doctor and River Song kiss. It's the Doctor that's on the left of the screen, and River Song is on the right. Mm-hmm. And in the Series 7 finale, they're kissing, but they're the other way around. The Doctor's on the right, and River Song is on the left. I don't know if that was intentional.
I'm pretty sure.
But if that is, goddamn, Stephen Moffat!
He's smart.
Holy shit, you are smart. Like I said, could you imagine? Like, this man had it all planned. Despite, like, losing 2 companions, losing a doctor in, like, early on... This man made it all work. He had a plan, and he fucking stuck to it. Could you believe that? When you were watching that Series 4 episode, when you meet River for the first time, were you expecting anything like this?
I knew there was, that there was...
Because you didn't know she would be a reoccurring character, right?
No, I knew she was going to come back. I knew that.
Oh, okay.
I knew she was going to come back. Like, definitely there was, like, a feeling of, like, yeah, they're, like, just the way...
It felt like set up?
Yeah.
Which is fine, because it is set up.
You told me back in 2020 that, yeah, there were... Stephen Moffat, who wrote it, like, he was going to take over, so he was like, already like, here are the seeds for my run of the show.
I remember your reaction to that. That was really cool. You were like, holy shit!
Because I said it before, and I'll say it again, because just having, like, the characters that I've met so far on those first 4 years were, like, characters that he has met and already has an established history, but now to see a new character at the time that was like, oh, I know you already, but we don't know them, and she's already had this like 100% history of it. It's like that piques your curiosity. It's like, okay, they're definitely setting things up for this character, and then when we now cut to, like, obviously the journey's not over, but already to this point, it's like not seeing the whole picture. It's like so far you're paying off all those seeds.
Yeah, remember how I said, like, eventually, I think it was the Series 5 review, when, like, the River Song and the Doctor, eventually, for one moment in time, their timelines would finally meet, and they would be happy, and they would love each other genuinely, and they would be caught up with each other. Mm. Almost.
We're still not there yet. Are we? Or did we? Did we pass it? Or you can't spoil
it? Spoilers.
Okay. Until the future, then. Until the future.
But this is definitely like that kind of moment. That's the moment I was really hyping up the most.
This one.
Yeah, that's basically.
Well, you could say it was a line because, like, yeah, her life is finished. It's technically, it's not really like she's out of her timeline. Like, she's dead.
She is done. She is dead.
So, like, yeah, you could consider this like a precursor to that. I guess you can consider it then. But I had so many jumping off points, but I guess it's perfect for me because, like, when Clara jumps in to the Doctor's time stream, it's like now she's gonna meet every Doctor. She's gonna make sure that he always like. Okay, here's the natural history.
She met every Doctor once, but met Matt Smith's Doctor 3 times.
I guess.
It's you see what I mean?
It's a subconscious like finding like I'm supposed to save you. I'm supposed to help you.
Again, ass-polling. That is what Stephen Moffat is a pure genius in.
But it somehow works. But then, like, and of course, obviously, this isn't like it has to be a trilogy moment. This is where we're going to wrap it up, where I think the Doctor finally gets Clara back after some motion. And then,
like, inside his time stream or whatever.
Like he got her back, and
This
then
show's confusing.
yeah, but like what the thing is confusing for me because obviously when we come back next time, like she said, like wait, I've seen all of your timelines, but I never seen him, and I see like who's that old guy, and then we just see his face. I'm like, yeah, who the fuck is this old guy? This is like another Donna moment. Like who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
And it says to be continued. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, the 50th anniversary. I'm like, oh great, I really
John
want
Hurt. John Hurt, what do you think?
his face. He looks great. Like he definitely looks great. But,
Yeah.
well,
You've seen him act in other things before, right? Harry Potter. Have you seen Alien? This
I've not
dude's
seen-
like a classic.
Who is it?
This dude is
Wait,
like a classically trained, well-known
Who
actor.
played in Harry Potter? Is this one of the rare times I'm going to take out my phone and like actually look?
Probably.
Yeah, you keep talking while I figure out who.
Yeah,
the
no, it's just really cool. Again, like I said, set up for the 50th anniversary. That's really all what this is.
Oh! I didn't know he was the wine guy.
The wine guy.
No,
I've not watched Harry Potter in a
Ollivander.
really long time.
Ollivander, like the guy who gives him the first one. He was in Deathly Hallows Part 1 when Voldemort was looking for the Elder Wand. Spoilers for Harry Potter, but it's been a decade. It's on you. Oh shit! Well, like remember he has a mustache and like a kind of like a little bit of a beard, so it's like
Yeah.
And that guy was like long hair, like clean shave. Like you can't blame me.
Yeah, guess what? Remember when I said they were running out of budget? Richard E. Grant, classically trained actor. John Hurt, classically trained actor. Oh shit, we're out of money.
What are we?
That's what I'm imagining happened. Like Stephen Moffat was just like feverishly looking over the budget. He has like a fucking Excel sheet, like just like looking over the budget. Like, all right, how are we gonna do this? We got to make a really good 50th anniversary special. All right, we got John Hurt, great actor. We got him, star material. Okay, fuck, we're out of money.
Until next time.
Until next time, guys.
But no, like I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do with the fit. Obviously, you've seen it already. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have tons of stories to fill in our time next time around for.
Oh yeah.
But I can't wait to see because like obviously I know one of the best boys coming back. I know like this is a culmination point in our Doctor Who review series thus far. Now bringing him into things like it definitely elevates the questions and like you teased before, we're getting to that moment I've been asking you since our first series review. Like we're finally at that moment, which
Yeah.
I'm actually fucking surprised because like yeah, when we were recording that back in 2020, I'm like yeah, that's 2021, 2022. Like that's still a ways off. And now for me, finally, well, I haven't seen it yet. Like I have not seen the special yet. Like I wanted to do this review, get these thoughts out, and then as soon as you go home, I'm gonna go watch it. And I'm like I'm excited to see what that's what that's going to bring, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. But to wrap up Series 7, just to close, enough teasing for next week.
Guys, Series 7 is just a solid season of this show. It is great from beginning to end. It has a lot on its plate, and it certainly isn't perfect by any means. And I am saying a lot of this with nostalgia. I am a biased person. With that being said, I do like it, and I highly recommend it. It's a perfect series to binge.
The final, a perfect way like to give Matt Smith his final series.
It's a great send-off for Matt Smith.
I mean, we're not done with him yet. Like same thing with
we got 2 more episodes with him.
2 more specials. We'll see how that goes. Again, I love this series so much. They did so much. It worked so well. Amy and Rory, them going broke my heart in a way I wasn't expecting. I didn't cry, but I really I felt sad. I really felt emotional. Like I texted you, like you knew what I was talking about, and I said I'm gonna take a couple of days off before I finish, and you were like, I knew it. I knew you were gonna feel like that. And then coming back to Clara, and it was like a breath of fresh air. Again in the middle of a fucking run, already a new beginning, and it doesn't. It's a different sort of final arc. It doesn't feel like an end, but it feels like we're setting up some stuff, we're ending some stuff. They did so much, and at the end of the day, it worked.
Yeah,
they pulled it off, and I can't even imagine what a nightmare it must have been to kind of deal with
a lot,
all those elements,
scenes,
because dealing with you're right, 50th anniversary setup, having to fulfill Karen's wishes to say goodbye, then having to write in a whole new character. I'm pretty sure way earlier on, there was just so much, but it all worked. It all benefited the story, benefited the Doctor's character, and definitely gave us great material for us to lead into the specials. And then when we do come back later this year with Series 8 and beyond with Peter. So now, George, it's finally time for the last time for like for about maybe 8 or so months, it's time to rank them series.
Number 1.
We have, let me finish. Number 1, Series 4. Number 2, Series 6. Number 3, Series 2. Number 4, Series 5. Number 5, Series 3. And number 6, Series 1. George, where do we put Series 7 on our every series rank list? I thought you heard him let out the middle finger. It's like, yeah, I was gonna like drag. I was gonna drag it out instead. Like, whoa!
You're just like, well. No, this is the best one.
No,
so far.
So far. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Really, Doctor Who is that kind of show where it's just like, it just keeps going. It keeps going up. It keeps going up, and you know what? It does go down. It does go down.
We'll get there someday.
You'll get there, but like, look, it can only go up from here in the future. Like, right with you know, we are getting a new fresh start with
a returning favorite,
a returning showrunner, and I got high hopes.
Mm-hmm. But that's future us.
But with this era of Doctor Who, these next couple seasons, these next couple series,
there's
a lot to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's only gonna get better from here. I sound crazy when I say that, but it's true.
You say that every run, like no offense.
I do.
Now that we're halfway done with the Matt Smith journey. Like I know, like we done the bulk of the work, but for review wise, we're already halfway done. But you say that every time. Like we wrapped up David Tennant run. Oh, that was a great run. It's like, oh no, get ready for Matt Smith's run. And then like now we're here at the end of the Matt Smith run. Like get ready for Peter Capaldi's run. Like God damn it, George, stop. I can't.
I'm telling you what. As soon as we finish Peter Capaldi's run, I'm gonna stop saying that.
Till 2023. But so for me, I gotta give a little explanation. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I said in the Series 6 review, there are elements to other series before that makes it superior than the others. But at the same, but then there's things that Series 6 and now Series 7 has done over the last series that makes it stronger. There are moments I think like, oh, they did this better in 3, or they did this. Like villain wise, obviously, still the Master is still the better villain than the Great Intelligence. Yeah. So it's like villain wise, not the best, but everything else is so well done that it elevates the ranking even higher. Where it's like so far there is no perfect season of Doctor Who in my eyes. There isn't. Like,
exactly.
Like consistent across the board. Maybe in the future,
everything has something different to it, and that's what it is. It's an episodic series. There's going to be episodes you like, episodes you don't like.
And it's also...
it's not meant to be binged. But it works great when it's being binged. But exactly. It is a great series to just watch random episodes of.
Unless you want to get really confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Series 7. It is definitely the best for me in terms of the emotional core and the residency. And then also just, again, you give everything that does a lot with the utmost respect, because again, the people who create the content, not just the writers but also the cast, who have to put so much more into their performance, because like to deliver not just a great singular story, but to set up multiple stories beyond it is something that you have to give them credit. Like I know at the end of the day, like you have to view and judge the work as a singular entity. You can't think of like, oh, like Age of Ultron is much better now that after you watch WandaVision. Like that is a feeling, but like at the end of the day, like you have to keep that in consideration as like an additive. And so for me, that's what I feel on Series 7. And hopefully maybe once we do come back after the specials, or maybe when we come back after Peter's run and you look back, it's like, this is just another great chapter in this story that Moffat is creating. And, you know, we still have much more to go, thankfully. We're not at the bad point yet, as you keep mentioning it. Yeah. But Series 7 for me right now, until we come back in the late year for Series 8, this is by far the best series of the 7 so far.
Yeah.
We'll see how Peter's run gets there. But it's not the end yet, everyone. Again, you can go binge the entirety of Series 7 right now on HBO Max. We'll be back next week for our Day of the Doctor review. But until then, George, please pimp out your tools.
Ladies and gentlemen, Typical Campus is back to its regular schedule, and it's doing fantastic. And you can check out Typical Campus only on Line Webtoon. You can check me out at Twitter, at It's Just George 98, and on Instagram, have the same name. Joseph, where can people find you?
You can find me on both Twitter and I guess Instagram. Well, no, Twitter at Joseph_Prano. I hate the original at Joseph Prano. I wonder who you are. At JoePro97 on Instagram. You can also check out our brand new channel, The Collection. I was saying it so well for 4 weeks to our people that we're hiring to make our assets, and I'm like, here I am promoting it. I even promoted the other ones on the tubes, and I'm like, I did it so perfectly, and I'm like, I fucked it up. Follow us on our brand new journey, The Collection Compass.
The Collection Compass.
Our first episode launched yesterday. Go check that out right now if you want to. All the links are in the description below. Again, if you're unaware, this has been What's of the Tube from ActionX. Reviewing every series for Doctor Who. We'll be back next week again for our Day of the Doctor review. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date. Any sort of updates for the channel. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos, and please like, favorite, share, of course, if you always. But until next week, for the big old 50th anniversary special, we're finally at the moment. I'm finally going to see the war. It's finally here. I'll be in a war outfit next week. No, I won't. I don't know why George is doing the freaking Bully Maguire dance.
Because it's just such a good episode.
But Bully Maguire has something to do with it.
Oh, well, I just thought that was a funny dance.
Until next week for the 50th anniversary, again, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.
Goodbye, guys.